The question of what happened to the lost colony of Roanoke is among the most enduring mysteries in the United States. But we now have a new theory, that the colonists headed northwest from Roanoke into the Albemarle Sound. Where did they go from there? We may already have the answer, thanks to a hidden map that has only recently been revealed. In 2012, historians uncovered a shocking new clue in the hunt for the lost colony of Roanoke. They examined something called the Virginia Pars map. It was painted by Roanoke's governor, John White. The map reveals useful routes for navigating the rough waters of the Atlantic, as well as many Native American villages. But in 2012, it revealed quite a bit more. The British Museum discovered two small patches where extra paper had been applied over top of the map. New technology allowed scientists to see beneath these patches without disturbing them. And there, they made an incredible find. Governor White had painted a fort here, along the coast of the Albemarle Sound, and then covered it up. What could this possibly mean? Could this secret fort, purposely covered up in John White's map, represent a new home for the relocated colonists of Roanoke? Archaeologists have named the fort Site X, and it's here that the mystery deepens.
We're on our way to Site X. It's a little way up the Albemarle Sound, and it's a possible location for some of the lost colonists to have settled after 1587.
Looking at the map, it's easy to see how the colonists could have navigated up through the Sound.
This is an incredibly detailed map. It measures about 18 by 9 inches, so it's quite small, but even today it's still recognizable. You can still see the Outer Banks region, the Roanoke Island, Lake Mattamuskeet. It's incredibly detailed. It's a beautiful, beautiful map.
It begs the question, how could Governor White have known this much about the area in such a short time? And how would he have been aware of a fort over 50 miles away? As it turns out, 1587 wasn't the first time John White visited the area. He had been here 2 years before, as part of an expedition led by Sir Ralph Lane, who established a fort in Albemarle Sound. But this early visit to the New World quickly took a turn for the worse when the English accused the natives of stealing from them. As retribution, Ralph Lane burned their village, killing several tribe members. Soon, those tensions led the English to abandon the fort and return home. Lane's fort was here, in the exact spot that was marked on John White's map. The question is, if John White and the rest of the Roanoke colonists knew about the fort, could this be where they went after abandoning their own colony?
We are now in the area known as Site X. This is being explored, and some archaeological excavations have taken place here with the First Colony Foundation. Many people believe that some of the colonists would have settled here. It is the location that is hidden on the map by a little piece of paper.
Excavations in this area have turned up signs of life, including a mix of pottery, some from the local tribes, and some from a lot farther away.
They've uncovered some borderware, quite a few fragments of borderware, and 3 pieces of North Devon balusterware, which is very typical of the sort of storage jars of the period.
In other words, pottery from England has been discovered on this site. Could this have come from the survivors of the lost colony of Roanoke? Researchers here are convinced that it could, but Andy isn't so sure.
The important thing to understand about borderware was that it was prolific. It was the pottery of choice for London. Essentially, you could find this stuff everywhere you go in London. It was produced right up until the mid-19th century.
And there's one more reason the colonists might not have relocated here: their safety.
The biggest flaw with the idea of the colonists relocating to the area is the existence of the Mangoaks and the Chouanists, who Ralph Lane records fighting with back in 1585.
John White knew that the natives here were hostile. Ralph Lane's expedition barely managed to escape their wrath. So the question is, were the Roanoke colonists desperate enough to enter this dangerous territory? Or did they eventually change course and head somewhere else?
That's almost certainly why the decision was made to move to be with the more friendly Native American Indians. But what is absolutely certain is that the lost colonists needed the help of the Native American Indians to survive.